So, I just finished Watch Dogs 2. All I can say is, Ubisoft, you did us good. Watch Dogs 1 was officially announced at E3 2012 with stunning gameplay footage to go along with it. The game was supposed to launch with the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 in holiday 2013, but was then delayed to May of the following year. The first game didn't hold up to what was being showed before release, not in the slightest. It seems like 90% of the features were removed. The graphics got significantly downgraded, and the game was forgotten, rightfully so. Just the other day, I was in my local EB to buy Battlefield 1, and the kid in front of me was giving in his Watch Dogs, and didn't ask for in-store credit in return, he just wanted to get rid of it. In summary, Watch Dogs 1 was a fumble on Ubisoft's behalf, and they had a lot of trust to regain going into a sequel. How's Watch Dogs 2? It's great, honestly. It's not perfect and doesn't claim to be, but it improves and innovates in every way that the first game did so poorly. The first game was set in Chicago and was very dark and gloomy. Watch Dogs 2, complete opposite. Set in San Francisco, this game could not be more colorful and vibrant. All the characters are deep and have unique characteristics about them. The world is vast and feels like real people are living in it, and not just a couple lines of code mapped to a character model on the sidewalk. The world in Watch Dogs 2 is enormous, and every new place visited is a different adventure. No two streets, alleys, or rooftops look the same. Ubisoft made this world just begging to be explored and conquered by the player. With all new hacking abilities at your fingertips, that becomes a reality. The hacking and the settings seem to work hand in hand, giving you tools and different ways to complete each mission. Hacking the world around you is seamless and fun. Your botnet meter in the bottom right corner shows you how much resources you have to hack the world around you, and starts off very small and lackluster. With the intense research skill tree ranging from gadgets and vehicle hacks to social engineering and combat expertise, I found myself maxing out the botnet charges as soon as possible. Something as small as this shouldn't be your restraints on what you're capable of. And I know it will never happen, but energy bars like this I just wish would go away. I understand it gives me just another thing to do in the game, but I see it as more of a bother than anything else. I compare it to the hunger meter in Minecraft, which ultimately makes sense, but in retrospect the game was better off without it. The botnet charges are a small detail that can be overlooked, thanks to the fact that it will fill up automatically and doesn't require some sort of replenishment on the player's behalf. There are the occasional glitch in the game that just stops me in my tracks and takes me out of the experience. I ran across this glitch, not once, but 3 times in my playthrough.
I gotta get out of here.
Let's move on. I haven't really talked about story all that much, and I'll keep it short. You play as Marcus Holloway, a dude that is recruited into a rebellious hacker group called Dedsec. Dedsec played a minor role in the first game, but is in the spotlight in the second. Each member is unique and they each have a different relationship with Marcus and each other. The members include Marcus, obviously, the newest member, Wrench, the humorous one with the digital emoji mask. He was all over the advertising for this game. Zatara, which is the brains of the group and she comes across as a leader figure. Josh, who is the most tech-savvy member. He also has Asperger's, which makes him very socially awkward. Horatio, which is the forgettable character that gets almost no screen time in the whole game. He could be missing from the game and it wouldn't even matter. T-Bone, or Raymond Kenny, the returning character from the first game. He's the chill guy who clashes with a couple of the other members of Dedsec every once in a while. The story is there, but it's not the main focus of the game. I was also pleasantly surprised to see a transgender character play a relatively big part in the main story. The main missions and side missions are incredibly diverse, with only minor repetition. The biggest cases of this are 2 side missions, which have you hacking ATMs and painting billboards. It wouldn't be so bad if you didn't have to get on some sort of rooftop for each of them. Marcus has some pretty impressive parkour skills, but not nearly on the level of Ezio, being able to scale buildings, so you'll have to get creative. I inevitably gave up after a while, seeing that this was incredibly boring, and with very little payoff. Nonetheless, the game is great, and the world feels, for lack of a better word, full. I've come across some drunk friends walking the line on a sidewalk to see how drunk they are. I've seen a guy pull over on the side of a road to take a piss. But I was really blown away when I was walking through the hills and saw an elderly man sitting on a rock with his legs crossed in some sort of meditative state, overlooking the city. After I analyzed him, I found out that he had been diagnosed with cancer. He was just enjoying the world while he still could. In conclusion, Watch Dogs 2 doesn't seem like a sequel to the first one. It feels like so much more. But hey, I'm just thinking out loud.